third question is to create MySQL function to check whether a number string is palindrome or not. So create function is palindrome, input strings, and you have to define the varchar 256 return boolean. Here you have to define a function. Then the start begin, then declare, then these statement you have to remove spaces from the input string. Set input string is equal to replace input string and then comma, and the reverse the input string. This statement will reverse. Set reverse string is equal to reverse input string. Then check if the input string is equal to reverse. The command is that if input string is equal to reverse string, then return the true value. Else, return the false value. In this way, we are able to find and then the delimiter. In this way, by this, when you write command in MySQL, you are able to find whether this is palindrome or not. The fourth question was to write a PL/SQL blocks that accept order number, product number, and the quantity order from user and update corresponding record in sales order details table only when quantity order is less than or equal to the quantity on hand value of the product master table. So in this case, I have to write in this way delimiter create process. In the same process, same way you have to write procedure update order details within bracket in P order must be integer, in P product number integer, and P quantity order integers. Parenthesis will be closed. In this way we can create a procedures. Then start begin declare V quantity on hand integer, receive quantity on hand by product master. So you have to write select quantity on hand into V quantity on hand from which product master, where product number is equal to P underscore product number. Then you have to check if the order is less than or equal to quantity on hand. So what will do? If P quantity order hand less than equal to V quantity on hand, then update sales order details, set order quantity order is equal to P quantity order, where order P quantity and product number is equal to product number. Select order updated successfully and then alias as a message else. Select insufficient quantity on hand as a message selected. In this way, we are able to find the query. The last query was write a PLS blocks to check even number. Here the two even you have to find the even number, divide by 2. So here also you have to write delimiter double slash and then create function even. Within parentheses you have to input the number, the value, the types of is integer, return a boolean. Begin and then declare is even is boolean. If input number divide by 2 is equal to 0, then we can say set even is number is true. Else set even is false. And if return is even, check the number is true. So you have to use MySQL this program to find the even number. The agenda of today is to discuss exception handling in MySQL and cursor. These are very important topics. Exception handling. Exceptional handling means you have to how to handle the errors. Exception handling in MySQL stored procedures is allow you to manage error that occur during the exception of procedure. There are how expression error works in MySQL. So there are some you have to declaration conditions, declare handlers, handle exception and resume execution. So declaration conditions, you can declare condition that correspond to a specific types of error. For example, you can declare a condition for division by zero error, duplicate key error or other SQL state value. Declare handler. After declaring conditions, you can declare handler to handle these conditions. Handler specify the action to take when a condition is encountered during the execution of the procedure. Same way, the handle exceptions as specified in handler occurs during the execution of the procedures. The corresponding handler is triggered. Inside the handler, you can define the code to execute the handle of the exception. So it will trigger when the error will come, whatever, then it will be triggered depending on that conditions. And the last is resume execution. Resume is execution or exit the exception. The execution can either resume normally if error was resolved, or you can say recoverable, or you can choose to exit the procedure if error is fatal. So there are in this way we are able to use exception handling for triggering in SQL statement. Next, we'll give us some example of exception handling in MySQL. The example I have taken, create procedure, you have to create one procedure, example procedures. Then also it start from begin and declare division by zero, condition for SQL state 2012. Declare execute handler for division by zero, begin exception handling code. You have to write select error division by zero occurred. If it will occur, it will close. This is the example. Here you have to declare V result integer. It means attempting division by zero. It means set V result is equal to 1 by 0. Select division was successful and delimiter. This line will not be reached if an exception occurs. So in this way, you are able to write the errors. Then after you have to call example procedure. In MySQL you write, it will be, you are able to find for that. In this example, I have given the explanation for that. First we declare a condition, division by zero for SQL state that corresponding to division by zero error. Then we declare an exit handler that catches this condition and defines the code to execute when the condition occurs. The next is inside the procedure, we attempt to perform division by zero operations. If an exception error, the exit handler is triggered and a specified error message will be displayed. If exists, the handler will be triggered. If no exception occurs, the execution proceeds normally. This is the basic illustration of exception handling in MySQL. You can expand upon this by adding more conditions and handler as you need for different types of exception. Depending on the requirement, you can add more. Give an example. Extract record from the client master table where state is Maharashtra. If more than one record is extracted, then handle the error using too many rows exceptions. If it is more than one, so this message will be how you will write. I have given in MySQL. So first of all, you have to write create procedure, extract client from Maharashtra, and then closed. For that, you have also same way you have to write begin, declare v state count must be integer, and then you have to check if more than one record exists in the Maharashtra, then select count into v state count from client master where state is equal to Maharashtra. If more than one record exists, then handle the error. How you will? If v state count is greater than 1, then select error more than one record found in the state Maharashtra as error message. Otherwise, else select a star from client master where state is equal to Maharashtra, and if. When you will press query OK is written, then if you want, what you do in SQL, MySQL you will write call extract client from Maharashtra. When you enter, error messages come, more than one record found for the state Maharashtra, one row is set. So, in this way, you can handle exception handling. So, also I have taken a second example. Calculate the square root of a given number. It is very simple. If the enter number is negative, then handle this situation with the help of user-defined exceptions. The square root is an inbuilt function in Oracle to calculate the square root. How you write? Same procedure. You have to create a procedure. You have to create procedure, calculate a square root in P number, it may be decimal 10, 2. Then start begin, then you have to declare the variables v result decimal 10, 2. Then you have to declare the handler for division by 0 error. If it is 0 error, then we declare continue handler for the SQL exception begin. See, select error, cannot calculate the square root for negative, as a result this one. Check the enter number is negative. Then raise the division by 0 or error, the trigger will be trigger the handler. If on 0, otherwise calculate the square root of the positive number. What are the procedure is that same way, v result is equal to a square root p number. Display the result was select concatenate the square root number of p is v result as a result. This for ls we have written as a result. When you will call the procedure, call calculate a square root is equal to 15. When you will get 15, the result of a square root of 15 is 3.87. One row is affected. Suppose you want to give a negative, you check whether it will enter the number negative number, it will help or not. So here I have taken one example of call calculate a square root minus 15. Okay, 1 by 0, it will get null. It shows the null. Then the next topic is the cursor exception handler. I hope you will understand, and you can write program for exception handler depending on the requirement of the organization or the database you are designing. Next is the cursor. Cursor are supposed within a stored procedure, allowing you to iterate over all the result set returned by the select operation. It means in MySQL, cursor are supported within stored procedures. While cursor can be useful in certain situations, they should be used judicially due to the potential performance of that. For that, how you use in MySQL? For that, declaration, opening the cursor, fetching the row, processing rows, and closing the cursor. These are the steps you have to follow. Declaration means you have to declare a cursor by specifying a select statement that defines the result set you want to work with. Also, you have to declare a variables to hold the value retrieved from each row of the result set. So, you have to also define the variable also. Opening the cursor, after declaring a cursor, you can open it to execute the associated select statement and retrieve the result set also. Fetching rows, it means you can use the fetch statement to retrieve the row from the cursor one at a time. Each time you fetch a row, the cursor advances the next row in the results. Processing rows. Inside a loop, you fetch rows from the cursor and process each row of data is needed. This may involve performing calculations, applying business logic, or you update the values in your database. You can update database or at the time of performing calculations and applying business logic also. Then last is closing cursor. After you have finished using the cursor, you close it to release the associate cursor and free up memory. Here an example of how to use the cursor in MySQL stored procedures. So I am giving the example. You have to write delimiter, /. Here also you have to create procedure, process date, begin and then declare done by integer default false. Declare vid integer, declare vname variable character of 225. Then declare cursor. So here the main step is that declare data cursor for what purpose? Cursor for ID number from my table. Declare the handler for cursor, declare continue handler for not found, set done is equal to true, open cursor, open the cursor. Then the loop, in the loop it will go, it means loop to fetch the process rows. How it will fetch? So this command data loop is called loop, fetch data cursor into vid, comma vname. If done, then leave the data loops, otherwise, and if closed, otherwise, process data, calculation, updation, deletion, whatever. For example, you can print the value. Second, how you print? The select, concatenate, ID, vid, you can say name, and vname, loop and loop. Then the closure of how you will close the cursor, close data cursor and delimiter. In this way, you are able to use cursor in MySQL. For this, I have taken also some example. I tried to explain with the example. Sorry. We declare a cursor name, data cursor, and retrieves row from my tables. We declare variable vd and vname to store the value of id and name cursor to retrieve the cursors. And this way, in the example which I have explained, is written, you can read that these are the steps. Now we close the cursor when we done the processing all the rows. This is a basic example of how use a cursor in MySQL. Cursor provide a way to iterate overall result set row by row, allowing for more fine-grained control over the data processing and manipulation within the stored procedure. So these are the example I have explained. I hope you feel comfortable for that. If not, you have to read the, you can read on available on your screen. So I have tried to explain with examples. Write MySQL stored procedure, name fetch client name that declares and opens a cursor to fetch the name of our employees from the client master table. Display the name in ascending order. So in this way, you are able to write in MySQL a command create procedure, fetch client name. Begin, declare, you have to declare the variable. Here the declare done, integer, default, false. Declare vClient name var character 256 and then also declare cursor. Next is cursor. Then declare client cursor, cursor 4, select name from client master, order by name. Here we need ascending, so I have to ascending order. SC, see here. So declare the, and then after declare the handler for the cursor. The command is declare continue handler for not found, set that this is true. Then open cursor, open client cursor. Command is open. Then display the client names, client loops, and loop will fetch. You can fetch the client cursor into vClient name. If it is done, then leave the client loops and then end if. Then after you have to display the client name. How you will display? We will select vname as name as a client name and then end loop. Then after you have to write close cursor. How you will write? I have already explained. Close client cursor and then end. When you press query OK. So then how you will run? For that you have to call fetch client name. I have made a procedure fetch client name. So client name Ashwani Joshi, one row will be selected. Client name Chaya Banka, one row is selected. Client name Deepak Sharma, one row selected. Client name Hansat Kulako. Client name is Evan Beros. So in this way, you are able to find write SQL procedure for fetch the client name by using cursor. So I hope you feel comfortable to understand that program. Try to run. The next question is to read the client number from the client master table who live in Bombay and then change the order status to fulfill for this client in sales order table. For that, how do you have to write a procedure? In the procedure you have to write, you have to procedure update for that and then declare the cursors, declare the handler for the cursor not found, then open the cursors, check if cursor is open, then you have to fetch the client number into variables, then check if fetch is successful, then it will write otherwise update sales order set, order set is equal to fulfill where client number is this one, else this way. In this way, we are able to write a program which will solve. Then in the last, you have to display a message if cursor could not be opened. Select problem opening the cursor. Then the close cursor, I have a close. Value enter, it will display all the, you can say client number, then name and then this way. In this way, we are able to make a client number and client from master who lived in Bombay and then change the order status to fill for this client in sale. You can check on your system MySQL. I hope, and when you will run, the result will display. You can see on the slides same way. Okay. For this explanation, I have given I have write some explanation that the query will return all rows from the sales order table where the orders column is set to fulfill. If your stored procedure executes successfully, you should see the rows in the results. So you can see and you can read it. Now, let's access your knowledge and track your progress by giving you some thought-provoking questions. Your answer will not only reinforce your knowledge but also serve as a valuable gauge for your grasp on the topic discussed today. The first question is ORA-20091 is the foreign key violation error number. Handle this exception in more user-friendly manner. Consider table of your choice. This option is there. The next question, using cursor, find out the name of all the clients. Using procedure, retrieve the entire content of a client master table. The last question, using PLSQL, retrieve the list of name, city and the state of all the clients. Using PLSQL, find the name of a salesman who have a salary equal to rupees 3,000. As we read up today's session, I hope the discussion on advanced SQL have equipped you with valuable insights and practical skills applicable to your database management endeavor. Thank you very much for active participations, and we eagerly anticipate your presence in our upcoming lectures. Wish you a wonderful day ahead.